Once upon a time, in a grand and glittering palace, there lived an emperor who loved clothes more than anything else in the whole world. Every morning, he tried on shiny robes, sparkly shoes, and fancy hats, and still wanted more. He spent all his gold just to look the best. One bright morning, two clever strangers arrived in the city. They told everyone that they could make the most amazing clothes ever, so special that only smart and worthy people could see them. The emperor's eyes lit up with excitement. "I must have these magical clothes," said the emperor. He gave the men lots of gold, and they started to work. But instead of weaving, they just waved their hands in the air and pretended to spin invisible thread. After a few days, the emperor sent his officials to check on the cloth. They looked and saw nothing, but they were too scared to tell the truth. "Oh yes, it's beautiful," they said, nodding and smiling, though there was nothing there at all. Finally, the emperor decided to try on his new clothes. He looked into the mirror, but he couldn't see anything either. Still, he smiled proudly. "Magnificent," he said, while everyone around him clapped and agreed, pretending to see his wonderful new outfit. The big day had arrived. The emperor stepped out of his palace, holding his head high and wearing only his underclothes. Trumpets played loudly, banners waved in the breeze, and the people cheered. Everyone admired him, or at least pretended to, because no one could actually see the magical clothes. The streets were full of people whispering to each other. "Do you see anything?" "No, can you?" they asked. But no one wanted to seem silly, so they all clapped and said, "What wonderful clothes!" smiling nervously while the emperor marched proudly ahead. Suddenly, a little child shouted loudly, "The emperor isn't wearing any clothes at all!" The crowd gasped. Everyone stopped and looked, and then they all burst out laughing. At last, the truth was out, and the emperor could no longer hide it. The emperor's face turned bright red like a ripe apple. He knew the child was right, but he didn't want to admit it. So, he held his head high, tried to stay proud, and kept marching through the streets, one embarrassed step at a time, as everyone giggled and whispered behind their hands. When the parade ended, the emperor hurried back to his palace, wrapped himself in a big robe, and thought about what had happened. From that day on, he promised to listen to the truth no matter what. And the people of the kingdom learned too. It's always better to be honest, even if no one else dares to speak up.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a new one. More amazing stories coming your way.